Moments after the I-35 West Bridge collapsed in Minneapolis, questions were raised. What might have caused the bridge to plummet into the Mississippi River? With over 25,000 bridges in California, and 1,620 of them listed as structurally deficient, could something similar happen to those bridges? And if so, what is being done to prevent it?
I was down in Jamaica when watching CNN. Somebody called me and says, "You hear what's going on in Minneapolis?" And I go, "Well, Minneapolis, yeah, Minneapolis is not even a place you think about." And they said, "Well, there's a bridge collapse down there." And it says 35W Bridge. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I use this bridge every day." So all of a sudden I was glued to the TV and watching that, and they were trying to figure out what really happened. At this point, nobody really knows exactly how it happened. It's just that the bridge went underneath and collapsed in the river.
We've had reports from the scene, from our reporters on the scene, that say that there is probably a minimum of 30, as many as 50 cars in the water. Also, Gary, our eyewitness that Rod Simons just interviewed, confirmed what we saw, what appeared to be the case, that the bridge had collapsed on both ends, basically just fell in the middle, and of course causing multiple ruptures along the way.
9 people killed, according to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, and there are still 20 missing. And unfortunately, the fears are that they also may have not made it.
The event of a collapse is very rare, actually, in a bridge, especially if bridges like in California has been maintained during their life. We know that there is some bridge that is older than the other one, so maybe a little more problematic. It can create some situation during an earthquake, but the complete collapse, I would tend to exclude it. Caltrans is definitely into the research of new approaches and new techniques for seismic protection of the bridges. And in this year we developed many here, and we're still researching in order to improve the safety of those bridges. But at the same time, now that we have a new technology installed on the bridge, they are paying a close attention to the inspection of the bridges. This facility, this testing rig, is a specific machine, unique in the world, dedicated to test these anti-seismic devices. Now, we need to test full scale. That means we need to test the real devices that goes on a bridge or under a building, on a dam, or on different structures. So we need the full range of forces, displacement, and velocity. And the capacity of the machine goes up to 6,000 tons is the maximum load we can apply, a displacement of plus or minus 4 feet, and a velocity up to 70 inches per second. That is very high speed that reproduce the characteristic that an earthquake can impose to this type of devices. Deficient doesn't necessarily mean that the bridge is unsafe to be used. Let's say that generally speaking, deficient means that the Department of Transportation put the bridge into the list for a closer type of monitoring. And so a different level of inspection is activated. And of course, we know that there is a sort of things, a sort of maintenance that need to be done to all the bridges, and so the deficiency label creates a different type of priority.
We went to the 10th Avenue Bridge, which is parallel to 35, and it was really chaotic there. People were running and screaming, and then we looked over the edge, and we saw bodies in cars down at the bottom. I've never seen anything like that before, and I would never imagine that something like that would happen, ever, especially this close to where I live. I think that they need to make sure that they do every process of the rebuilding right. They shouldn't, rebuild it as fast as they can just to have it up. I'd rather have it be safe than have it be done fast.
This is a wake-up call, I think, for Minnesota for sure, and again, should be for the rest of the country.